So tonight I finally caught up on one of the Oscar-nominated foreign language films that I had been attempting to watch. I don't know, I haven't been attempting to watch it. It's been on Netflix for a month. I finally watched it. Um, this is, I'm going to not say this name right, Ildikó Enyedi's On Body and Soul. And it's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you can watch it. This was her first film in 18 years. It's beautifully shot. I'll start with the things I liked. It's beautifully shot, very stylized, gorgeous framing, gorgeous cinematography, beautiful everyday things that are shot beautifully, cityscapes that are shot beautifully, forests that are shot beautifully. It has a very evocative, haunting score, and the handful of songs that appear in the film are beautiful and work with the tone of the film. However, I did not like the film for a few reasons. The first one being in the first 15 minutes, this film takes place in a slaughterhouse for the most part, and in the first 15 minutes, I did not know this going in. I don't read reviews. Sometimes I just jump into movies. That's not always a good thing. So in the first 15 minutes, it very gruesomely shows cows being slaughtered, and I gotta give it to the director. She did a great job of beautifully shooting the cows, and the cows looking at the sun, and people looking at the sun the same way the cows are looking at the sun, so that you're really seeing what wonderful creatures animals are, including cows that are later slaughtered for food. That she then what am I saying? Contrasts with the hyper-violence of the way in which they're murdered. Not that this is like a what do they call it? Like this is one of those like I don't know. I don't have the language. I don't eat meat. Okay, I don't have the language. They don't humane. There we go. It's a humane slaughterhouse in the way in which they gently kill the animals, but it's still violence, and the director wants you to know that. And I don't dislike the film for that, because she does a good job of making you understand that there's violence in your everyday food, except those of us who don't eat meat. The rest of you, though, no. So like that's not why I didn't like the film, because I think she did a very purposefully way of showing her thoughts on slaughterhouses and cows, and how cows look up at the sun just like humans do, and how cows don't like being in small confined spaces the same way we don't like being in our offices. So like that's great. What that really had to do with the rest of the film, I don't know. The rest of the film is about a man named Andre, who is the sort of the head finance dude at this slaughterhouse, who falls in love with the new quality control person played by Alexandra Borbelli. Her name is Maria. They, unbeknownst to them, sorry, my cat is attacking me off screen. Stop it. Here, I'm going to bring her in. This cat right here is attacking me while I try to talk about film. She's purring now. They find out that through a psychologist that they are actually having the same dream every night. They're in each other's dreams as deer. It's beautifully shot. It's an interesting way to show the connection of people. Yes. But what I didn't like about it is that the Maria character seems very underdeveloped. She seems very like quirky without much understanding of why she is this way. She has some arrested development issues, possibly on the spectrum, but none of that is really developed well. And then you have this guy who's so much older, and yes, they both need a connection, but like, do I need to see another movie where a 50-year-old man finds his connection with a 25-year-old woman? Like, I know it's Europe, it's different there, whatever. I'm tired of it. I would probably have hated this movie less if they had just flipped that and it was a young dude and an older woman. I don't know. But tired of that trope, and even when it shows up in a film from Hungary, I don't want to see it. So there's that. There is also moments that are shot very sort of um, objectifying of the women in a way that I generally you don't see in films directed by women. So that was uncomfortable. And again, it's her setting up the world that you are getting, which is mostly from the man's point of view. So there's that. Um, and I just don't like that. So, you know. And then at the end, I'm gonna spoil it. Spoils, spoils. Um, she like he, eventually they do wind up together, but first he's like, we gotta stop. And I guess because this is the only thing she has going for her in her life, she's gonna commit suicide. But that doesn't go well because the music that she's picked doesn't work. And then he calls her, and she's like bleeding to death and trying to talk to him on the phone, and then it ends with them getting together and them no longer having the dear dream because they're together and they don't need a dear dream. But it was like all this woman has going for her in her life is this connection with this old guy, and without that, she's gonna kill herself, even though she was doing pretty fine without it. And I don't know. I don't know what it was trying to say. I didn't like it. It was beautifully shot. The comedic moment of her trying to commit suicide and then the music skipping was quite good though. So it's like I'm not sure. Like there's moments that I really liked in this movie, and I wish I overall liked the whole film, but I just didn't. And I hate it when that happens. But not every movie is for everybody. So maybe most people who saw this movie liked it. So I want to continue my spree of being that one person who didn't like the movie. So anyways, this is On Body and Soul. Watch it on Netflix. It's up for an Oscar. Of the three I've seen, it's my least favorite. I didn't see the other two that are nominated right now. I missed one because it was here in Atlanta when I was out of town. And the other one, let's see, what was it? I'm trying to find it real quick. Sorry, I didn't have the page open. I don't know. I don't think the other one came here yet. It was Loveless. I'm not sure. I wasn't going to see that one anyways. It looked too depressing. So, anyways, On Body and Soul, you can watch it on Netflix. It's directed by a woman. I didn't care for it. It's too bleak. It's too cliched, even though it's beautifully shot. There you have it. Have a good night.